We should understand that when the Supreme Lord descends from the spiritual world, He does not come alone, but He brings an entire entourage of His eternal associates. Ramananda Rai is one of the two most intimate gopi servants of Srimati Radharani. Vishaka Devi, Lalita and Vishaka are constantly on the sides of Srimati Radharani, assisting her in every way. In fact, the devotees in Vrindavan, the spiritual world, their only thought is Krishna. Their only thought is service for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. They are willing to give up their lives 1,000 times at any moment if it gives even one drop of pleasure to Radha and Krishna. The residents of Vrindavan, they are willing to die if it will just relieve Krishna or Srimati Radharani from the discomfort of stepping on a twig or a piece of small stone. That is the pure, unalloyed sacrifice. And Lalita and Vishaka are in the highest echelons of such transcendental loving service. In fact, they are expansions of Srimati Radharani herself. So when the two met, they began to embrace. And as they embraced, the symptoms of transcendental ecstasy began to manifest on their bodies. Tears began to pour like rivers from their eyes. Their hairs began to stand on end. Their voices became all choked up. Their limbs were trembling and trembling. Their complexions were changing colors. Perspiration was flowing from all pores of their bodies. And when the Brahmins, who were not great devotees, when they saw this, they were struck with wonder. They were thinking, why is this sannyasi embracing a Shudra? Because Ramananda Rai was by caste considered to be a Shudra. And then they were thinking, why is this royal minister of the king embracing this mendicant? And what kind of emotions are they exhibiting? They could not understand. They were astonished. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, upon seeing this, they somehow or other restrained their transcendental emotions and forcibly behaved externally normally, just to not confuse people who cannot understand the secret mysteries of transcendental love. And Lord Chaitanya said to Ramananda Rai that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has sent me to meet with you because he is my well-wisher and my dearest friend. And Ramananda Rai said, I do not understand why you have touched me. It is against the injunctions of the revealed scriptures for a Brahman and a sannyasi to touch a Shudra. I am the lowest. I am the most fallen. I am so contaminated, so filled with material desires. But I can tell that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all mercy, and you have extended your mercy to touch me. Although your lotus feet are the source of all holy places, you have come to give me your mercy. This is a great wonder, for I am the most fallen. And he said, and not only have you given me this mercy, but all of these 1,000 people that have come with me, they are all now chanting the holy names of Krishna, and tears are flowing from their eyes. This is your glory. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, actually, I am not a devotee at all. I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. What do I know? He said, it is because of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's great kindness that you have touched me for my purification. And because of your presence, all of these people are chanting the holy names and crying in ecstatic love. In this way, the Lord, who is in the role of a devotee, and his most intimate devotee, they exhibited the qualities of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is always taking the greatest happiness in appreciating the service and the devotion of other Vaishnavas. And a devotee is never envious, is never inclined to find faults with others, but is always trying to appreciate whatever spiritual qualities are in another. What to speak of advanced devotees. When Ramananda and Lord Chaitanya exhibited this humility toward one another, they also showed us how a devotee who is great never thinks himself great. Ramananda was the most elevated, most learned, most pure-hearted of all the servants of the Lord, amongst a few others. And yet he considered himself the most sinful, the most fallen. This is the nature of one who is advanced in spiritual life. He considers everyone Prabhu, all other Vaishnavas, and he always considers himself to be Das, 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 Anudas. Srila Prabhupada told us that the real spiritual master actually thinks himself to be the disciple of his disciples. The spiritual master considers his disciples to be his own spiritual masters, thinking that Krishna has sent them to engage me in their service. In this way, in Vaishnavism, no one considers themselves master. Everyone considers themselves servant. And the more one is immersed in that mood of humility and service, the more one is respected, and the more we want to worship that person as our master.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.